Marcel yells at me.
Yep, we're working. Welcome to the mayor and council meeting of the South River Borough Council, meeting number 17 today, November 13th, 2023. This meeting is hereby called to order. Madam Clerk, can you give us the statement of notice of publication?
In compliance with Chapter 231 of Public Law of 1975, notice of this meeting to be held in the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, has been published in the Home News Tribune on January 6, 2023, posted on the Municipal Building Bulletin Board, the Borough website, in the front door of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River.
May I have the roll call?
Mayor Krenzel?
Here.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Here.
Councilman Gindi?
Here.
Councilman Gertensky?
Here.
Councilwoman Mira?
Here.
Councilman Oliveira?
Here.
Council President Siula?
Here.
Okay, please stand for the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Please, in your thoughts and prayers, remember all those that have defended our country, whether they be police, army, military. Thank you. Please be seated. We're going to, due to various changes in the agenda, we had to move our executive session up. But before we do that, we are going to have the oath of office for Jonathan Torres, who is our going to be our new police officer. So we're going to start with that. First, Chief, would you like to address us?
Mayor, Borough Council, on behalf of Deputy Chief McKenna and the entire police department, I'd like to thank you for having this ceremony here again this evening. We haven't had a swearing-in ceremony for our police officers or for our newly promoted officers since before COVID. I know we've been doing the ceremonious oath of office on the side where the mayor comes in and we do it in front of the families. But for years, even before I was the chief, we would do it in front of the council. So this way, everyone can get to know our officers and our newly promoted officers. So I thank you for bringing this back. I know the fire department, we were talking in our public safety meeting that they were going to bring it back as well. So I appreciate it. I know my officers appreciate it. And I know the town will get to see the officers and the kind of caliber of people that we're promoting in our ranks of the police department. So today I stand before you, Mr. Torres. Well, as you all know, through retirements, we have a shortage in the police department. And I just spoke during the public safety meeting that this might have been the first time since I was the chief. It's far and few between where we're actually at full staff, but sometimes that doesn't work out. So we're still a little short staffed, but today it's a good day because you guys are going to be appointing and swearing in a new police officer. So I bring before you Jonathan Torres. He resides in New Brunswick, born and raised. He graduated from the Atlantic County Police Academy on September 28th. Right? How was that?
It was fun.
Okay. One thing about where he went, he was an alternate route candidate, so it means that he paid his own way through. He wasn't hired by any police department. He wasn't getting paid. No health insurance while he was there. So if he gets hurt while he's there, he's out of luck. So, but he persevered. He got his way through. He graduated. And today I stand here before you recommending him for the position of police officer. So. Everyone wants to take a picture with the mayor.
I, Jonathan, solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. Support the Constitution. Constitution of the State of New York. Faith and allegiance. And I will bear true. Governments. Established in the United States. Established in the authority under the faithfully faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of Borough South River Police Officer. My ability. If you want, you can say a few words.
Have a speech ready?
Congratulations.
You guys hear me? Well, I didn't have a speech planned, but just want to say I'm very grateful for the police department and the mayor and council for giving me the opportunity to serve the borough of South River. It wasn't an easy process being alternate route, paying myself to the academy, driving 2 hours to Atlanta County and back. It wasn't the easiest, but God gave me the strength. My family supported me through everything, so I'm just glad to be here. Thank you.
That was the first time anybody ever took us up on a speech. But again, thank you. Jonathan, take your family out to dinner now. So we're good. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Okay. You are welcome, of course, to stay for the rest of the meeting, but if you want to, you can leave.
That's very nice.
I'm going to make, just ask for one other thing. Is there anybody here to speak on the Virginia Street matter? There is going to be somebody? Okay. Then what we're going to do is, before we go into close, we're going to take that to discuss that first. And that'll be that agenda session, because we are going to go into executive session before voting, and there's other things to be done, and I don't want you just to sit up here and wait. So why don't you come on up and let us know what your thoughts are on this, the proposals that were made here. Please give your name and address.
I gotta lower this a little bit. My name's Ronald Luke, Louque. I live at 85 Darrell Street. The first thing is congratulations on the election. First thing. Second thing is, after talking with Jim Hutchison, across the street neighbor, everything is very good. First thing I would like to say is thank you. All right? I got one kind of request. Is it possible we can rename the street after the lady that passed away? I just think that would be a beautiful thing, because she's helping us get better. Even after she passed away, I just think it would be good. That's really all I have. Is there anything I can do to help? Please, knock on the door. We need help. Knock on the door.
Okay.
We help each other. That's about all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wishes? Okay, we will return to this then under our agenda session, but right now we are going to go into our closed session, so I'd ask Madam Clerk if you can read us into that.
Resolution 2023-314, whereas Section 8 of Chapter 231, Public Law 1975 permits the exclusion of the general public from a meeting of the governing body under certain circumstances, and whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of South River are of the opinion such circumstances presently exist. Now therefore be it, and it is hereby resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of South River in the county of Middlesex of the state of New Jersey that the public be excluded upon the hereinafter specific subject matter, and that such subject matter to be so discussed is as follows: litigation and personnel. Be it further resolved that such record of the above discussion will be made public when confidentiality is no longer required.
Your pleasure on the resolution.
Move the motion.
Second?
Resolution has been made by Mr. Gindi, seconded by Mrs. Ballas. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas? Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski? Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes.
Okay, we shall return. Motion by Mr. Gindi, seconded by Mr. Seula. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Welcome back. We are going to continue. We're reconvened to the public session. The agenda, we've already sworn in Jonathan Torres. We now move on to the agenda session. The first two matters are from Councilwoman Mira. Take it away.
So I asked to just bring up the Environmental Commission. I know a while back we combined the Environmental Commission with the Shade Tree Advisory Board along with the Green Team. There was a few things that we spoke about in our last meeting that I just wanted to bring up to see if we could alter this for the future. One of them is the membership. So we have on our membership that we appoint 2 non-voting junior members, but it says chosen from South River High School. We thought it would be fair to do South River residents because some kids don't go to South River High School. They might go to a private school. So we wanted to make that an option open to all the kids locally. I had this brought up. These were just discussions that we had and involved with, Shade Tree, Green Team, Environmental Commission, and I know our chair's here, so I'm sure he'll bring up some more stuff later, but I just wanted to put this on the table so you guys could look at it, see if we could change a few things and go forward with having more volunteers, because I don't think we should cut any volunteers from the projects and the things that we do. So that was one of the things I wanted to bring up to you guys. Another thing that's on here after when we started discussing was that we have a $25 fee application for people who want to put in an application to remove trees. I don't think we actually do that. I don't think anybody submits money with their application. Does anybody want to confirm that? Okay. So that is also in this. So I don't know if you guys want to remove that or if you want to only put it for applications that people actually do remove their trees, because sometimes we get applications of people that want to remove trees that really aren't in our jurisdiction anyway. When it's on private property, we don't remove them for them. So that's another thing. I didn't see, I know because we have all 3 committees put together in one, and we're only doing the same amount of memberships. I don't know if we want to include here that we have more volunteers on separate committees like Green Team, separate, even though we all meet together, but also members of the board. And it's also been difficult to figure out what our list is of our terms of everyone. I don't know if we've updated that or if we figured that out, Mayor. But, yeah, just things I wanted to bring up and get everybody's input on it, along with our environmental chair.
All right, we'll wait for our comments from our environmental chair and see what said. Good things that you looked at. So, what is your vacant property ordinance discussion?
So we discussed this at the last meeting. Did anybody else look into this? Did anybody read the vacant property ordinance? Anybody? Well, our vacant property ordinance has the fees that are entailed in this for vacant properties, along with a list of things that we need to do in order to, one, make sure we know the owner, make sure it's maintained, make sure that there's no squatters, make sure that the purpose of the vacant property is for it to not be vacant. We want people motivated to sell or lease their property so that these things don't continue to become empty, correct? The list I got was a very short list, and the issue I had was that that's not the whole list of vacant properties in town. Our vacant property ordinance also includes commercial buildings as well. We had not one commercial building in it. Mr. Zenga sent me a list of all of the fees that we have received since 2019. 2019 being the biggest year that we did receive fees. Not one commercial property was also on that list. So I bring this up again because it is an ordinance that we have. We should be enforcing or sending letters or receiving a registration fee and an annual fee if these properties continue to become vacant, yet it hasn't been done since 2019.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, just one thing about, I did look at the vacant property ordinance, and just a comment on that is that these properties don't just need to be vacant to be registered on the list. The definition of vacant is they have to be vacant and not maintained or unsafe. So yes, your list will generally be shorter if the definition is that they're vacant and they have to be either not maintained, the outside, or determined to be unsafe. Now, with that being said, that the council obviously can amend their ordinance to make it whatever it wants it to be, but that's how the ordinance is drafted right now.
Wasn't it also that it should, like, if it was vacant, for instance, a commercial property, that it would have to be actively seeking for occupancy in order to not be deemed vacant?
I mean, that could be a provision of not to be deemed vacant, but it's so it needs to be vacant and either unsafe or not maintained. So yes, if it's actively seeking buyers, that may take it out of the vacant category. Is that what you're asking?
Correct.
Okay, then yes.
Okay.
And Mr. Mayor, if I may add, that came under the purview of the code enforcement officer, and he just got overwhelmed. But the regulations have now changed. The borough can enter into a third-party agency at no cost to the borough, and there would be a different fee schedule, and the borough would get a percentage of the fees. So we are now considering that. There are a couple of companies that are going to be at the League of Municipalities. Joe is going to try to get a feel of what they're wanting to do, and that might be the best way to do it. They would maintain the list, they would maintain the property, checking the properties, making sure the fees got corrected. It's just got to be too much on the code enforcement officer.
Okay. All right. Good points, Councilwoman. Anything else? Okay, moving on to the traffic study. We heard from the gentleman who came forward concerning that. You've all had a chance to review it. Are there any comments? Otherwise, I think that the recommendations should be put into place. I don't think it's too cold as to put in the striping. So we'll turn that over to the business administrator and the head of DPW to begin putting that work into effect. Okay. Hearing none, then we shall proceed.
Perfect.
Go. You know, as far as renaming the street, as I understand, that is a pain in the neck, that it takes months and involves the county, the state, everybody else. But there may be a way of doing it, and something which we could consider is the way that Saraville does it, or that even that we have done it.
Drew.
Right. In other words, do it, putting it a name, like we've done it with Batco Way,
Oh, yeah.
Spinarelli, Drew Pearson Way. You know, that's something that can be considered and will be looked at in the coming weeks. So, moving on from the agenda session, first reading by title only, ordinance 2023-28. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 2023-28, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 258 entitled Property Maintenance.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2023-28 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law, with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on December the 4th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Motion by the Council President, Mr. Seola, seconded by Mrs. Ballas. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas? Yes. Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes.
We'll revisit this on December 4th, moving to 2023-29, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 2023-29, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to create Chapter 261, which shall be entitled Redevelopment.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, I move that the ordinance pass, or council pass ordinance number 2023-29 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law, with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on December the 4th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
Ordinance moved by Mr. Seola, seconded by Mr. Gindi. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas? Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski? Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes.
Revisit this on December the 4th, 2023-30. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 2023-30, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 155 entitled Fees.
Okay, pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2023-30 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law, with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on December the 4th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom or in the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Seola, seconded by Mr. Gindi. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes.
We'll revisit this on December the 4th. Moving on to reports. Thank you for waiting, Mr. Koch. I know you're anxious to get to Atlantic City.
No rush. I'm not going directly there, that's for sure. Good evening, everyone. So the 2023 local aid program, we are working on that design. The 2023 local aid transportation grant, we're still waiting for an announcement on that. But the 2024 local aid program, you received a grant in the amount of $606,980. So you can proceed with that at whenever you would like. The 2024 local transportation projects grant, which is a follow-up to the 23 one, applications are being accepted for that, and the applications can be submitted up to June 30th of next year. So if there are any other projects that you would like to file for, let us know. We'll give you a proposal for putting the application together and submit it. The electrical substation maintenance, I just received the contracts from the contractor today. When I returned from our time down in Atlantic City, I will process them and schedule a pre-construction meeting. The DEP Stormwater Assistance Grant Program, I'm told they've done all the surface locations by GPS. I think we're under budget, and therefore we will start on some of the work over the winter if the weather cooperates for the direction of flow. So that was good. It's going quicker than we thought, so it may not be as expensive. And I think I mentioned it at a prior meeting, but at a seminar I was at, the DEP indicated that there was a possibility of another offering of grant money to assist towns with executing this required survey work. So should possibly be more funds next year. And that
Very
is
good.
it.
Any questions, comments for the engineer?
I do, Bruce.
Yes.
I had mentioned the handicap ramps by Fitzy's. Were you able to take a look at that?
I had Darshell go out and look at them, and Mr. Londensky and I spoke about them, and we are discussing what would be the most cost-effective way to do that for the borough.
Okay, and then my other one was, did we ever move forward or think about how we're gonna fix the drainage problem at Fitzy's?
Yes, I met with Mr. Londensky on that. Our survey crew was doing some other work, and again, came in under budget, so I asked them to go out and survey at South Side, right, Art, coming down? The drainage on South Side. I have a plan with me that I went over with Mr. Londensky. I have to put together a cost estimate for it, but we would essentially lower the storm sewer line between two manholes that runs under the sidewalk. It's at a very steep grade. If we flatten it, I think we could get a pipe to come into the upper end of the park above the basketball court and probably do some good in intercepting that water that's coming through there and get it into the storm sewer. I think it'll be considerably less than the cost estimate I put together when we were coming up Union and all the way across. It may not be as effective over on the tot lot area or the playground area, but it may help because if we can intercept it up the top there, I can't guarantee how effective it will be, but I do believe it will be considerably less expensive. So Mr. Londensky asked me to put together a proposal for that, which I will do, and I will submit that to the borough.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If you wish to go, you can. It's, because you've got a busy days, next few days. So, Mr. Zenga.
Resolution renewing our dental coverage for 2024 at no increase. Another resolution for suspension of parking meters from Thanksgiving through December. Another resolution for a purchase of a roll-off truck. The borough went out to bid, and finally, there's a resolution for various police equipment over state contract. Since the amount is over the state contract amount, a resolution is required.
Okay. Anything for Joe? No? Okay. Fire chief, anything to report?
Good evening. We're going to be, as we've done in the past, we're going to be helping out for Thanksgiving at St. Peter and Paul's in the back with the Ladies Auxiliary. If anybody would like to come help out, you're more than welcome, please. We could use all the help we can get. Also, we are going to be, as we have done in the past, Santa Claus Sunday will be the Saturday before Christmas. We will be starting to putting it out, the Sunday before Christmas, the Sunday before Christmas we'll probably start collecting gifts the weekend before that so that we have, it's not crazy on that actual day that we go out. But we will probably right after Thanksgiving start putting stuff on social media. We are going to be partnering with the police department this year. We'll have the Grinch. He said it's going to be funny, so look for everything to go with that. But other than that, right now,
Is that going to be on the 17th or the 24th?
17th.
the 17th? Not the 24th. The weekend before, the 17th of December. Yes. We'll probably start somewhere around noontime, maybe a little earlier, depending on the demand that, we get from the presents and everything like that. But other than that, right now, everything is status quo. I don't want to use the Q word. I always get in trouble with that word. But, all right, everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. I have a quick question, Mayor. Did we find out about the fire on Herman Street?
They're still investigating it. It's actually in his insurance, from what I understand, it's his insurance company is dealing with it. It's out of actually everybody's hands. It's under investigation.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? No? Then head of our DPW.
Yes, Mayor. We're going to be closed next Thursday and Friday for the holiday, so that's the 23rd and 24th. There will be no bulk pickup that Friday, and also if your garbage gets picked up on Thursday, it'll now be picked up on Wednesday, so put it out on Tuesday night. The information will be in the calendar, Facebook, the website, and we'll also be sending Nixle out. That's all I have, Mayor.
Very good. Anything for age? No?
I have a quick question, Adriano. How come the Fitzy's top a lot, the playground was taped off? Did something happen to the equipment at Fitzy's?
We just fixed it. Hole, somebody put a hole in the thing. I called the company, they just came out and fixed it over.
Oh, okay, because I saw tape around it, and I didn't know. Okay. My other question was, I don't know if the calendar has it, but is there the dates of when they do the leaf pickups of the people that put it out on the side of the street? Because a few people have asked me about that.
It's in there. We alternate sides.
Okay.
So we don't have, they call up and they're like, oh, what time, what day you're coming. We just do the entire section.
Okay.
Every other week. So it's north side, south side, north side.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
What else? No? Chief?
There's, a couple things I have is, if anybody's interested in a part-time position, we had a crossing guard that resigned today. So we're always out looking for people to join the ranks of the crossing guard. When we don't have the crossing guard out there, we usually have our police officers out there, so it takes away from their patrol function. So if we can get more people to sign up, the better it would be. Also, on November 1st, Wednesday, we had 2 assessors here from the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police doing our assessment to make sure that we follow the best practices as deemed by the State Chief's Office. For the last 3 years, we were told that we've made sure that we were following these procedures. So we were advised that at the commission hearing in March or April, they're going to recommend that we be recredited for the 4th time. Lastly, the Grinch costume. It's a day in my existence. The person that's going to be wearing it likes wearing it all. That's it. That's on me.
Very good. Anything for the chief? No.
I have a quick question, Chief. Do we know the status of the Whitehead traffic study?
No, we don't know. I don't know the status. I can tell you that the equipment that we utilized for the Virginia Street study, that was loaned to us by a company out in Albany, and that's been returned probably about 6 weeks ago, maybe even longer than that. So I'm trying to reach out to that company again, see if they'll loan it to me. We'll find out.
Okay, because I have seen more patrolling, at least in the Whitehead area, and I know you guys had the speedometer out there.
Yeah,
I don't know if that
different.
helps. It's different. Okay. But that was it.
Very good. Congratulations to our clerk. Well done with the election. Well run.
Thank you.
So, and thank you for all those that also helped with that, because I know there was a lot of work done beforehand to get things ready. So the poll workers, 3 cheers to them. Thank you, Mr. Oliveira. Anything from the legal side?
I have nothing tonight, Mayor.
Okay. Mr. B.A.?
Thank you, Mayor.
On Resolution 318, the emergency repair at the Tile Yard Pump Station, you're aware, we were waiting almost 2 years for the pumps to repair that station. Well, when the pumps finally came in, they went and looked at the station, and all the electrical equipment had been damaged by the weather and everything, so we had to replace all the electrical equipment so that we can put the pumps in. That's what that resolution is for. 320 Cedar Fairmont Health Cultivating got their state approval, so we just had to give a letter of recommendation for them to start their manufacturing of cannabis. 322 appointment to building department. Our building subcode is going in for knee surgery, so he has gotten someone to cover his place while he is out. And the last thing I had is, by sometime this week, we will have completed, and on the bill list tonight was a check for the DEP to put in our application for the permanent change in chemicals. That's it.
All right, very good. Anything for Art?
I have a question, but I don't know if it goes to Art or our lawyer. What is the status of our recodification?
So the first part is completed through the borough departments. It is currently at my office, looking at the legality of, not the administrative code portion, but the actual general legislation. And when it's done at my office, it goes back to all of your department heads to look and answer my questions. And then we put it into one big ordinance and we present it to council.
So like halfway done?
Yeah, approximately.
Okay.
Approximately. A little bit further than that.
Very good. You want to start all with our, well, first of all, we have our reports. Okay. After 12 years, you think I understand this, how this works. Okay, anyway, your report.
Well, I had my last meeting with the Environmental Commission, but I'll let the chairman speak on behalf of them. Library's doing great. They had their book sale last week by the Friends of the Library. They've got a lot of stuff going on until the end of the year. If you have time, please stop by. That's all I have for now, Mr. Mayor. Thanks.
Okay, very good. Mr. Gruchensky?
Thank you, Mayor. The Office on Aging will be closed tomorrow at 2:30, and also on November 23rd and 24th, closed for Thanksgiving. The monthly mingle is going to be this Friday. It is a prepaid event, and I'm not sure if you could still sign up if there's space available. What you'd have to do is call the Office on Aging to find out. They also have a fix-up winter prep program for seniors, and an application is at the office, and you could find out about various things, closing up your HVAC, changing the filters, checking your smoke alarms, cleaning your gutters and everything. But more information is available at the Office on Aging to find out about these services. Let's see. The Christmas Bingo is going to be at the Ria Mar on December 6th. The cost is $15, and the sign-up is at the Office on Aging from November 2nd to Wednesday, November 22nd. Okay, with that, that's also, oh, I'm sorry. They have a tacky Christmas tree decoration on November 30th at the Office on Aging, too. They said to wear your tackiest Christmas clothing to help decorate the office. With that, that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Very good. Councilman Olivera?
So Parks and Rec, on December 1st, we have our Christmas tree lighting ceremony that will be held at Daly's Pond. So please come out. They have a wonderful surprise for, I know our police chiefs, our fire chiefs have left, but residents will be in for quite the surprise that night. And we have wrestling and basketball signups that are currently happening. If you're interested, please visit Civic Rec, or you can stop by 55 Reed Street, and Terry or Jessica will be more than happy to help you out. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Ciula, anything to report?
Yes, a couple of things. excuse me, just make a few announcements on Summit Firehouse is holding their poinsettia and wreath and grave blanket sales. It started tonight. You can go on tonight, the 15th, 17th, 22nd, and 24th. Checks will be accepted and they'll also be there on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if anybody is interested, please go up and support the fire department. And the grave blankets can also be found online, I believe, the application form. Also, fire department is also looking for cadets and junior firefighters. Applications are available. You can email kherzig@southriverfire.org, or a cell phone number is 732-735-5120. Cadets are 14 and 15-year-old. Junior firefighters are 16 and 17. And at 18 years old, you can join as a regular member, and they'll send you to the academy. Members are needed, so please consider on joining the fire department. For moms and dads, we also have applications for you. Anybody interested in joining as a regular member, please call the station at 732-257-9217. And that's all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Ballas?
Yeah, I just have one thing. The South River Food Bank is continuing its 2023 holiday food drive, as I mentioned last meeting. They're looking for special needed holiday food, mashed potatoes, anything that somebody can pick up and make their own holiday meal. Donations can be dropped off at either the South River Food Bank, 98 Jackson Street, South River, or the South River Public Library at 55 Appleby Avenue. The food bank hours are 10 a.m. to 12 noon every Wednesday and the first 2 Saturdays of the month. If anybody has any special needs from the food bank, they can call them at 732-238-3020. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gindi?
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Now we go to public comments. Please come forward, give your name and address, and you have 10 minutes to speak.
Good
Sir.
evening, Richard Byrne, 11 Bissett Place. As your Environmental Commission Chair, I'm happy to report that we planted 8 trees paid for out of the Tree Replacement Fund. That makes a total of 10 this year. And hopefully we'll, build on that success next year as well. Just a comment about the $25 application fee. The fee was added to the shade tree section of the code, but it was never added to the fee ordinance. So your authority to collect comes out of that fee ordinance.
No, it can be embedded in the code, and it can either way.
So
Either
I
way,
don't
we
know
have authority to collect
how you're
it.
supposed to tell who's supposed to collect in any event. So personally, I kind of think about it. So we're talking about trees that are in the public right-of-way, and we're asking residents to pay $25 to ask us to maintain trees that are in the public right-of-way. So, I don't know, does it really make sense from that standpoint, asking them to pay for, technically it's not on their property? And as Councilwoman Mara said, like, I go out and the tree is well beyond the public right-of-way, it's on private property, and we're just gonna say no, and that we're not gonna take care of the tree, but they can, with their own, they can hire a tree service. They don't need permission from us if the tree's on private property. So it would make sense to look at where it's appropriate to charge this fee in certain circumstances. The other thing I wanted to say was I wanted to specifically thank our member Emily Grasso for being the lead on the tree planting project. She really took the bull by the horns and got it done, and so I'd like to thank her personally for that. So, thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Emily. Okay, yes, please come.
This is good.
Yep.
So, Emily Grasso, 13 Darrow Street. So, Richard, I was on the Shade Tree Commission when we did enact that $25 fee. And the history of it is our finances weren't nearly as, we didn't really have a lot of money to plant new trees. And also what we were finding was that residents were we were getting flooded with tree removal requests. We had like 18 at one, in 2 months' time. So one of the goals was to, really make residents, I shouldn't say really think about it, but, it just seemed like everybody in the world would see their neighbor's tree cut down, and then they'd say, well, maybe I can get rid of my tree. Anyway, so that's kind of where it came from. I don't know, we have to decide as a commission, I guess, when to charge that fee going forward. So that's my comment about that. I would also like to thank Age for keeping 3 of our new trees watered, the 2 elms on Washington, and we just planted sugar maple in honor of Jack Alai in Cannon Park, because he was so instrumental with the community garden. So it seemed like a good spot to put it. So I guess we need a resolution to dedicate it sometime next year, maybe, in honor of Jack.
Come the spring when it's coming out, leaves coming out.
Yeah, he was our liaison, I think, in 2018 and 19, and he was just really an excellent liaison for us. And I'd also like to say Julie also has been extremely helpful to us, and I appreciate her insight. Yeah, so trees, a lot of them are near the school, too, the school streets. We have 1 on Wilcox, 1 on James, 2 on Arlington, and a couple on Lyon Street. So, yeah, the trees are... I'd also like to mention the Free Cycle event that took place on the 21st and 22nd, and I would like to recognize Adam DeHanes, because we had to do a lot of social media posting, and he was just very responsive, and we had to actually cancel it for one weekend and have it moved to it. He was great, so I'd like to recognize him. But we had 50 residents participate, and the feedback I got was very positive, and people actually want it to happen like a couple times a year, because people have a lot of stuff to get rid of, you know what I mean? And my last thing is, so the commission sent me to the New Jersey Tree Federation conference in October, and the knowledge that I gained from that is going to be very helpful in making a plan for planting and maintaining the trees that we have in South River. Like, it was a lot of sensible information that I think will make things better going forward, because you really should have a plan instead of, just kind of reacting to things. So those are my comments. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else on first call, second call, third call?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion closed by Mr. Gindi, seconded by Mr. Seula. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? The ayes have it. There are no mayoral appointments. We then move to resolutions. Madam Clerk?
Whereas Resolution 2023-01 authorizes the Borough Council to utilize a consent agenda to adopt various resolutions of a routine and non-controversial nature at one time, now therefore be it and is hereby resolved that the below listed resolutions are hereby adopted by the Borough Council in whole, as if the same were individually acted upon. Consent Resolutions 2023-315 to 2023-331. 315, authorizing the purchase of various equipment from Elite Vehicle Solutions. 316, resolution authorizing renewal of dental coverage contract. 317, authorizing conditional appointment of Jonathan Torres as police officer. 318, resolution declaring emergency repair for the Tile Yard Pump Station. 319, temporary suspension of parking meters from November 23rd, 2023 to December 25th of 2023. 320, resolution of local support of suitability of cannabis business to Cedar Fairmount Health Cultivators. 321, authorizing the purchase of a roll-off truck with Cambria Automotive Companies Incorporated. 322, authorizing appointment in the building department. 323, authorizing appointment of 2023-2024 winter recreation department employees. 324, resolution appointing Cultural Arts and Heritage Commission members. 325, approval of a special events permit for the Mexican Committee that was held on October 28th, 2023. 326, authorize certain utility refunds. 327, property tax refund for a total disabled veteran. 328, accept October 23rd, 2023 regular and executive session minutes. 329, authorize the bills and claims list. 330, permit a voluntary canning fundraiser to support the South River High School Booster Club. 331, appointment of a code enforcement officer.
Your pleasure on the resolutions.
Move the resolution.
Moves the
Second.
resolutions have been moved by Mrs. Ballas, seconded by Mr. Oliveira. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes, abstention to 328.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Oliveira?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes, with abstention of 329.
Okay, the resolutions have been adopted. There are none to be read separately. Then, therefore, we go on to our governing body comments. Mr. Gindi?
I want to thank everybody that came out and supported myself, Jim Krasinski, and Hank Tazemian for Sean Houseman, Joe Donato, and Julie. You did a great job on the campaign. Look forward to working with you in the future. For Jonathan Torres, I welcome him, new police officer. I know our police department has been doing a great job for a long, long time. They continue to do just that. So Chief Mark Teninigan, keep up the great job that you're doing. And last and final, happy Thanksgiving and happy, healthy one too.
Thank you. Mrs. Ballas?
Yes, I'd also like to welcome our new police officer. Hope to get to know him, and he seems like he'll be just fine here. And your recommendation, and he seems like he's found his place. I'd like to send, I know it's a little after the fact, but my condolences to Walter Kajotic, as we lovingly called him Booney. He affected a lot of us. I never had him as a teacher because he taught shop, and I didn't have shop. He was an integral part of our football program. My two sisters were fortunate to have him as their softball coach. They made many county appearances and state appearances and won championships there. So to his family, I send my deepest condolences and happy Thanksgiving, one and all. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ciula?
Thank you. First, I'd just like to wish a very happy birthday to our borough attorney, Andrea.
Whoa. Thank you.
I want to welcome Jonathan Torres to the police department and to the borough of South River. I look forward to seeing him around with the fire scenes and working together with him. And then happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you. Mr. Oliveira?
Just to echo everyone's comments so far, congratulations to the candidates that won. For the candidates that weren't able to win this time, you know, it's not easy to run. You put your life on the line. You know, everything gets put on hold. They should be applauded just for putting their names in the hat. Anyone, whether Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever it may be. It really is a sacrifice not only for yourself but to your families. So I just want to applaud everyone that ran this past cycle. In terms of holidays coming up, you know, just want to wish everyone again a happy Thanksgiving. I hope to see everyone on December 1st. Like I said, I'm really excited. Terry and Jessica have something awesome planned, and hopefully it goes off without a hitch, but it's going to be up to age. Pressure's on, age. So, thank you, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. And what's on December the 1st?
December 1st is a tree lighting ceremony.
Okay. Mr. Kuczynski?
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I'd like to thank all of our public safety workers, our police, our fire department, Robert Wood Johnson. Just to keep in mind, too, that each day we lose, 12 minutes, I believe it is? And it gets darker and darker. Children are going to be around, especially on Thanksgiving. We had a long weekend coming up and everything, too. Be a little bit more vigilant. There's a lot more traffic on the roads. Please, let's show some courtesy back and forth. We don't need it in the holiday season. That's when tempers seem to flare the most. With that, I wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. Thank you all for everyone that came out for Veterans Day. And with that, that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Mara?
Thank you, Mayor. I do want to remind everyone that this week, both the primary school and elementary school have half-a-days all this week. So that's why you might see some kids out earlier than normal. The middle school and high school still have full days, and everybody has a half a day on Friday. So this month's a short month for the public schools. I want to mention that the South River Portuguese Club is sponsoring and hosting a spaghetti dinner for our South River Rec cheerleaders. So if you've got nothing to do on Saturday, November 18th, please come out to the South River Portuguese Club. It's from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you buy tickets beforehand, if you find the link on Facebook, I believe pre-sale tickets are $8 a person, and at the door it's $10. So come out and support the South River Rec cheerleaders. They're working hard this year. I want to mention that we went from having 2 teams last year to now having 5 teams this year. So our program is expanding tremendously. We have a great group of kids that are excited to start their season, which only starts in January, but they still work hard. We try our best as a borough to really cut costs on some things for these rec programs, but cheerleading is an expensive sport to be in, so any bit of help is welcomed. We also had a fundraiser go on that if you donated $5 for a slice of pie for your cheerleader, they would get pied in the face. But since the whole team was able to reach their goal, now the coaches are getting pied in the face by all these cheerleaders. So I'm hoping that they live stream it so everybody gets a chance to laugh, but these girls are really working hard and they're excited. So I appreciate when they have just a little bit of fun and it's not all about the hard work. Congratulations to our police department with a new member. I'm glad to see that we're expanding our department and also in ways of language as well. I'm sure Officer Torres also speaks a little bit of Spanish, so that's always so helpful in our community. And just happy Veterans Day. Thank you, Jimmy, for all that you do. And I know we have a few employees within the borough that are also veterans, so we appreciate them not only once in a while, but every day when we see them. So thank you. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Happy Thanksgiving for everyone.
Thank you. I don't usually talk, but today I'm going to be saying a lot of things, so everybody hang in there. I'm going to start off with something which you're probably all familiar with. It is not the critic who counts, or the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. That's called Man in the Arena. That's how it's known as. It was not originally called that. That's not what Theodore Roosevelt called it when he first spoke it, but it was wildly received enthusiastically back then when he said it in the early 1900s, and is still remembered today. Congratulations to the winners, and condolences to those that have fought and lost. You know, if you look at social media, it's like just a big bullhorn for a lot of blowhards. But to really get up here and work hard and do your best to try to improve this town, and I don't think there's anybody up here who doesn't try to improve this town and make it better. And for that, we get a lot of bric-a-bracs for it, and catcalls, and the sting of defeat hurts. Both Julie and I know that. So when next time you want to throw something at a person up here, ask yourself, are you willing to come up here? You willing to volunteer? How about volunteer, forget about up here. How about the planning board, zoning board, environmental commission? We've got all these various organizations in town that make this town better. Before you say something, do something, and then you can criticize. Jonathan Torres, welcome aboard. I know I'm getting old. I've been a lawyer. I go to municipal court. I look at some of these police officers and I wonder, are they old enough to shoot a gun? I mean, honestly. Jeez. Looks like he just got out of high school. But I'm afraid that's an old man's perspective. You know, Veterans Day, really a chance for the town to get together, the few of us that did. It was a nice ceremony. It was a nice ceremony that we had. Of course, wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. But of course, the day before is South River's best kept secret, the ecumenical service. It'll be at 7 p.m. at the Reformed Church. If for no other reason, if you've never been to the Reformed Church on Thomas Street, come on in. That's one of the nice things about that, is you get to visit different churches. I remember when people walked into St. Mary's, some of the Protestant denominations whose churches are usually very plain, they were aghast at it. They thought it was a European cathedral. You know, we truly have some beautiful, beautiful churches. I've always been impressed with Saints Peter and Paul, the Orthodox Church. That's the one with the onions on the top. You know, and it's a chance to come out and meet people. It's always the same people that come out. Not doing anything day before Thanksgiving, before you overdose on turkey. Come on out. Next day is Thanksgiving. Tree lighting on December 1st. That's always a fun thing to come out to do. And where is that going to be?
Daly's Pond.
Daly's Pond, so that'll be there. As I am winding down my career here as a politician, I'm not stopping to practice law. I have to keep telling people that I'm not retiring from law, just politics. Today I just want to look back. I'm going to be looking back, forward, make some comments. So at this meeting, I just want to look back, and I thought about, you know, what to look back at over the past 12 years. What comes to mind? Well, the three big ones. First of all, Sandy. First year in office, that's when I discovered being mayor doesn't come with a book. There's no place you can just, you know, apocalypse. What incredible things. We were ready for it. We had the Frost on the Pumpkin race. We met afterwards. We figured big storm coming. We'll be prepared. Nobody saw it coming. Two different people, one in Saraville, one in South River, both described it. It wasn't a wave. It was a wall of water that came and pushed everything aside as it came up through the town. I say that we have been blessed, and I thank the dear Lord. I was surrounded by very good people. Our electric people, who at 7 p.m. on the Monday shut down the power in the town so that the transformers wouldn't blow. Then the next day, getting it together, having meetings, making our plans. By Thursday night, 8:30, I know that because I believe I was on the phone to Mr. Ciula here at 8:30, and suddenly in my darkened house, the power came back on. By Friday, 90 to 95% of the people had power. This town has absolutely no idea what it was like, because by Friday morning, we had light, we had heat, we could scrounge around for food, gas. My office in Saraville didn't get power back for 8 days. Some parts of the Saraville didn't get power back for 3 weeks, and then places even more than that. We were very blessed with that, but unfortunately, we are still affected by Sandy. Over 100 homes we've lost. That's less tax ratables, electric, water. We're still recovering fiscally from that, but being South River strong, we did recover it. Go forward, COVID. me taking what I described on Facebook as the saddest picture. I was coming home from work. It was 9 o'clock at night. I pulled over to the side on Main Street by Ferry Street, stood in the middle of the road, took a picture of an empty Main Street. No cars, no people, nobody. There was just nobody around. Frightening, afraid, and we should have been. It killed people here, even in South River. But it dissipated, and happily we survived, and we have recovered from that. The other big thing was the water, and it has been a bane for many, many decades in this town. But finally, the water utility is no longer the forgotten stepchild, elevated to that of the electric. We have rolled up our sleeves, and we're working on it. The treatment plant coming back online, getting that fixed. We're going to do the water meters. That project will start, and we're looking in to the costs, replacing pipes, cleaning the pipes, having the somebody come in to run the place, or we're going to be doing it ourselves. But there's many different aspects of this, and we're going to walk and chew gum at the same time, and eventually it is going to work, and hopefully sooner than later. Next meeting will be December the 4th, and I'll talk to you about the future and what is going to be happening regardless of who sits up here. So, is there anything else to come before us? If not, motion closed by Mrs. Ballas, seconded by Mr. Gindi. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Happy Thanksgiving, December 4th.